Welcome to the Kevin Dunn Show, and as always, we're so excited that you've taken the time out to join us. Hope you're having a wonderful day. As always, we have a special guest on tap for you. Today we have James Boomer Harris, a track star. When we come back from the commercial break, we're going to be finding out more about James Boomer Harris.
At Charter Bank, you get totally free checking with online statements. You betcha. Free mobile banking, free online banking, free online bill pay, free debit card, even a new account gift. Free. At Charter Bank, we're here to wow you. And totally free checking is just the beginning. Come see us or open online at charterbank.net. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Choosing a new home can be one of the most difficult decisions of your life, whether the choice is for you or a loved one. Poplar Creek specializes in intimate, individual, personal care for each resident through a staff that knows each resident personally. Poplar Creek is a senior living community specializing in senior living and memory care. Dining is always a relaxing event in their beautiful dining area where they provide full table service. Enjoy a full list of amenities, including a beautiful outside walking area and a beauty and barber salon. Make the right choice. Make Poplar Creek your new home.
Welcome back to the Kevin Dunn Show with James Boomer Harris.
Yes,
Boomer, where did you get the name Boomer from, man?
My dad gave me that name before I was born, and after being born, my mom felt that it was suitable for me after 48 hours of labor. So
48 hours later.
And then
labor, excuse me.
And after I got into high school with sports and everything, it really stuck, and that's what my community know me as, Boomer.
And that's going to be a household name one day, folks. Boomer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm hoping so. I'm working for it.
Okay. So you're in the track and field. So explain to me how you first got into track and field.
Well,
as a young kid.
Well, as a kid, I would do 1 meet a year, and that was here in Troup County, fastest kid in Troup County, and I was a kid at Lone Cane Elementary School.
Okay.
And I would come up and I would run the 100 meters every year, and I would always make the finals, and I would never win the final, and I always felt that track was a little bit too hard for me. And as I grew and got into baseball, and I started baseball very young and got into football and basketball, I always seen track as something that would help me stay in shape between seasons.
Right.
And now, I mean, it's very beneficial to me, and it's going really well.
So it paid out for you, starting out young and early.
Yes,
now, how old were you when you first started participating in the fastest kid in Troup County?
That was 3rd grade, so how was 3rd grade? Like 8 or 9 years old? Yeah. So yes, sir.
Did you admire any track stars when you were coming up, or you were just maybe looking at football players and basketball players or whatnot?
Well, it was 2 track runners that, because track really isn't the biggest mainstream sport until Olympic year.
Right.
But it was always 2 runners that I always knew about, and that was Marion Jones and Michael Johnson. And just seeing them out there, seeing Michael in the gold shoes, which I tried to copy in high school, and just being able to go out there and to be able to compete with them, well, not with them, but compete in the events that they were competing in. Like, I was like, well, I got to hold up this standard when I'm out here. And I never felt that I was the fastest or the best, but I always felt that since I was doing it, I might as well give it my all. So. Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Now that goes to my next question I was going to ask you. So, you were not the fastest kid in elementary school.
I was not. I remember back from when I first moved here to Lone Cane as a kid, from 3rd grade all the way to 5th grade, it was one kid that would always beat me, and that was Quiz Hargett. I never forget that name because I could never beat him in running. And I was never the fastest kid, and it just took me getting out and sticking with it. And I never seen track as something that I would just really be that competitive in. I was using it as a stepping stool for my other sports, like just to stay in shape and to be able to go out and compete at a better level when I got to those seasons. So
that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Sir.
That's awesome. So when did you know that you really had a true gift and that you really could be successful in track? When did you know that?
It was actually, I enjoyed competing in it throughout early high school, and once I got back for my junior year, I had came off of state, and I just had won my first individual state title as a sophomore. When I came back, I actually started paying attention to the sport, and I was seeing the times that the guys nationwide were running, and I was like, dang, that's not gonna cut it if I want to do it on this level. But at the time, I was so focused on baseball and football. But I came back my junior year, and I felt like I had so many adverse situations that was coming in my life at the time.
Right,
and track was that thing that I really didn't have a team to rely on. I mean, you have a team score at the end of the meet, but when I get out there and compete in my lane, that's James Harris on his own, pushing himself. And when I started saying that, hey, maybe I came in contact with the right people, and I actually got to go to the meets that were actually like elite meets. And
Right.
Man, there I would compete and win, and you're like, man, I might be pretty good at this.
Pretty good.
And I never forget, I went to Nike Outdoor right before my junior year of high school, and my seed time was like 48, which is hard to get recruited off of.
Right.
And I remember introducing myself to one college coach, and I told him what time I ran. He was like, okay, and turned around and went the other way, and I PR'd by 2 seconds. And you run 46, any coach will be ready to give you money. And like right after that meet, like it was a line of coaches, so that really changed from me not being recruited to being recruited happened in a matter of 30 minutes. So
a split second.
It happened that quick. So I really didn't have the chance to get prepared for it. And I just turned around, I'm like, oh man, I'm one of the top track recruits in the nation. So
that's amazing that when you started out, this was really not your intentions.
Yes, sir.
And you were just using it as a side piece to help you in other activities.
Yes, sir.
That's incredible that you looked at it like that. Now, as far as your skills, when did you start taking it serious after that, or were you really taking it really serious before that?
I feel as far as skills, I feel like, especially in high school, I didn't capitalize much on my skills. It was just more of trying to keep myself in shape, because where I went to Lynette High School, we don't have a track, we didn't have jumping pits, we don't have all those things that would prepare you to be a track athlete solely. So the thing that I tried to capitalize on was, and as a team we did, was making sure we're in shape the whole season, and just competing with heart, because that's something that can't be taught, can't be coached. That's something you have to want. And it was just being able to go out and compete every time. We enjoyed it.
Right.
And as far as skill, it was when I got into college. Like, when you get to college, that's the thing. You specialize in what you do when it comes to being academically or athletically. You're specializing in that. And that one thing to make you better.
Right.
So, and that's when I really started specializing, when I got into college.
That's good. So what was it like at Lynette High School when you were running track? What was that like?
There was never a dull moment at Lynette High School. Like I said, we don't have a track to practice on, but we had between 15 and 20 guys that want to come out and want to really compete and want to be good and that hated to lose.
Right.
And we would go out and we would get in the stadiums, we run stadiums and running around the football field, and it was a good experience. And I swear every year we would be so close to winning the state championship, and we finally did it my senior year. And that's really one of the standout points of my career. And I mean, I've been part of conference champions for college and everything, but winning the state championship my senior year of high school. The last thing that I really did during my high school career before graduating, and that's what I can think back to. And
that's great, man.
When I wake up and I see that ring laying there on my dress, I'm like, oh man,
that's great, man.
I still get chills from it.
That's great.
Yes,
that's great. Now, when you were at Lynette, did you think that you could compete on a collegiate level? Did you really think that, man, at the time?
When I first started, I felt that I was like, well, maybe I can get into like a SWAC-like conference or a small conference, maybe even D2, D3. But I was so sad. I was like, I'm gonna be able to play baseball or be able to go to the next level with football. And I never thought that I would be a collegiate runner, but I knew I loved to run, and I was like, well, if I go to play baseball or play especially football, I can do track in the off season because those seasons are in 2 different semesters.
Right.
And when I seen it actually happening in front of my eyes, it was really surreal at the time. I was like, going to run, like you're a 17-year-old kid and you look at your phone and you're seeing all these different area codes coming in and there's college coaches on the other line. And I mean, just seeing it come to pass was a great experience.
So you were able to maintain, because I know a lot of kids that could actually swell their heads and build their egos. So you kept all of that in stride at the time?
I honestly gonna say I stayed pretty humble during the whole ordeal because I didn't expect it to happen. It caught me off guard, and track is such an individual-based sport. Like, you have to stay so fine-tuned in what you do because, I mean, even at the high school level trying to get a college scholarship, it's always somebody knocking at that door trying to knock you off your feet to get those dollars that their school is trying to put aside for you. So, and for me, it was kind of scary, especially my senior year, because I felt like, dang, I'm in the spotlight now. So many people are expecting this of me, and now, I mean, I got these coaches and these colleges saying they'll pay for me. Like, I don't want to go out and have you really get that exposure your junior year, and you don't want to go out your senior year and have a bad season.
Okay.
And once I went out my senior year, I was just like, hey, I'm done the hard part now. I just gotta keep doing what I do and let my talent speak for itself. Okay.
Hold that thought just for a second. We're gonna have to pause and take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're gonna talk more to James Boomer Harris about his collegiate track career. You have pain, we have solutions. Total Healthcare of LaGrange Joint Restoration Program specializes in providing electrical stimulation and injections to get rid of your knee and shoulder pain. Total Healthcare's injections helps and repair ligaments, taking away all of your knee pain within 5 to 7 weeks. We offer special braces and supports to assist you, and we are now accepting Medicare with payment plans as low as $20 per month. If your joints need lubricating and you desire to regain mobility of your knee free of pain, Total Healthcare can make you new all over again.
Life in the country is a conscious choice. And with that choice comes hard work, attention to detail, and investing in the right tools to keep your home or farm at its best. So why choose anything but the very best zero turns on the market today? Exmark. Known for their durability, precision cut, and time-saving performance, Exmarks are the preferred brand of mowing equipment for the landscape professional and people like you who take pride in their lawn. For special pricing incentives, visit exmark.com or your local dealer.
It's a below invoice truck event at the all-new Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Opelika Ford. Just 25 minutes from Columbus. Brand new truck $6,000 below invoice. Plus pre-owned trucks up to 50% off original list. 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, new, pre-owned, and even lifted trucks. We are your Rocky Ridge headquarters. All the accessories you need to lift, lower, and load up. 10 acres, 1,000 vehicles.
Folks, you've just got to see this place.
The below invoice truck event at the all-new Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Opelika Ford.
Welcome back to the Kevin Dunn Show, where our special guest today is James Boomer Harris, the track star, soon to be an Olympian. Tell us what it was like when you first went to Mississippi State to run track. What was that experience like?
It was such a different world just going out and being in college, really. Waking yourself up for 6 a.m. practice, weights, and then you finish weights and you got 8 a.m. class, then you got a 11:30 class, then you have like a evening practice and the class after your evening practice. It was just a different experience, and getting accustomed to it, it was like working like a actual work day, working shifts.
All right.
And I mean, for me, it was really good, like getting in touch with who James Harris was when he wasn't supervised by his parents, learning how to like put myself disciplined to work, and seeing how grounded I was in my principles. And that's why I thank my parents a lot, because I seen people that I went into school with that role model in high
Right.
school and get to college, and life turned out to be so different for him. But I mean, I thank God for my parents keeping me in church and keeping me in touch with my morals.
That's great.
Because when it really just took me not even a whole month just to see how things were different and how I had to hold myself up to those standards and stay active in what I believed in, and it really kept me on the straight and narrow.
That's good,
So,
man, because I know you needed that.
Yes, sir.
Being grounded, that's good. So after Mississippi State, you end up transferring to Florida State.
Florida State, yes,
And you
sir.
ran track at Florida State. How
Yes,
cool
sir.
was it to run track for an ACC school?
Just when I decided to transfer and just looking at schools, like the first school that came to mind to me was Florida State.
Okay.
And when I finally got in touch with the coach, and I was like, man, I'm on the phone with Coach Arnold from Florida State. I was excited about it. And you look at the Walter Disses, the Borley Bros, and all those great guys that come through Florida State, and you look at the tradition they have in track and field, like just to be a part of that, just to even get recruited by them. I mean, I felt like, hey, everything is going
all right.
good.
Okay.
I'm moving on up.
Okay, great.
And it's a great experience, especially these past 2 years with the Seminoles. It was great.
That's great. Now, James, we're going to take a look at some footage here from the 2013 ACC 400-meter championship.
Yes, sir. Yes,
we're
sir.
going to take a look at that right quick, and then once we watch this brief video, we're going to come back and talk to you about that.
Okay.
Out of Florida State in the mix as well. Be interesting to see because Harris is also competing in the high jump, and he is scheduled here to race out of lane number 6, and I do see him as well. So Harris will race in this event. That might be why there's a slight hold on the high jump competition that is going on. And they're off, and it's a clean start, and the final of the men's 400 meters is underway. And it's Alonzo Russell of Florida State with a big lead, but here comes Harris along the backstretch. But now Brunson Miller starts to catch up. Russell, though, just blasted out of the gates, and his lead, though, as I say that, is slowly shrinking. And here comes Miller around the bend in turn number 3. Harris looking for a podium spot, challenging Miller for the lead. They have to get around Russell, though, who's in lane number 8. And now they come down the front stretch. It looks like it's going to be Miller, but challenging is Virginia's Peyton Hazard. Here comes James Harris down the front stretch. Harris with a burst of speed. He heads for home, and he takes the title on the men's 400 meters. Harris at 45.25. Miller at 46.08. Russell at 46.14. Hazard just off the podium at 46.18. Followed by Beach, Peros, Sutton, and Adams. And James Harris wins the title in the men's 400. He has to go back now and finish his high jump competition. That, my friends, is impressive.
Man, awesome. I am a James Harris fan. I've always, even since you were in high school. James, what does that feel like to cross that finish line in first place representing Florida State? What does that feel like, man?
That was actually my 400-meter debut, outdoor 400-meter debut for Florida State. And it felt great, man. I wasn't the favorite of the race. I was regarded as a high jumper, and just going out and being able to come across the line first and just hearing the race unfold through the announcer, I was like, dang it. Hey, this feels good. And when I saw I had the race where I wanted it and made my move and just pull off, like it really did a lot for me. And like I just had came off from an injury and the surgery a year before.
Oh, okay.
And just seeing everything, like this is what I've been rehabbing, working and just fighting it out for, and everything coming to pass for the better. It was great, man. It felt so good.
Well, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I'm going to back up just a little bit. I wanted to ask you this earlier. Now, when you were in high school, I know you felt that you had a lot of confidence and you were fast and you were good at what you do. Okay, getting to college, okay, we see some people here that may be a little faster than I am.
Oh, man.
How do you deal with seeing other people that were faster than you?
I think the best thing for me as a freshman, I didn't have the chance. I knew that we would come to meet some professionals would be there as a collegiate athlete. I didn't have the chance to be afraid of it. And we go to this meet, and I'm in the open 200 meter just to work on speed.
Okay.
And I look, and Tyson Gate, Olympian.
Tyson Gay, yeah.
USA record holder. Steve Mullins, Olympian for Jamaica. Mike Rogers, Olympian for the USA. Those guys are in the race with me, and I'm this 18-year-old kid, like, oh my God, really?
I imagine that can be intimidating, man.
And I didn't have time to be afraid of it.
Okay.
And
good.
Once the gun go off, I mean, you gotta
That's
run.
it.
And I was like, well, either I'm gonna run one heck of a time, or they're gonna drag me to a new personal best. And that's exactly what they did, drag me to a new personal best. And at the end of the day, I didn't win that race, but I ran faster than James Harris ever ran in his life before. So
great.
That's the thing I see. If somebody is better than me on paper, they're gonna have to prove it to me on the track. And usually, if they do finish before me, I do better as an individual. And I push myself to a better mark. So
that's great. That's great. Now, James, you brought a medal here that you've actually. This was from the World Championship. This was in Moscow.
Yes, sir. Last summer.
And 4x4 relay, James Harris, USA. You guys finished in first place.
Yes, sir.
In Moscow.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about that experience. Gold medal.
Man, yeah. The World Champs last year was actually my debut senior team for Team USA, and just being on you get the training camp and you see the Allison Felix, the Justin Gatlins, the LaShawn Merritts, and those people standing on the hallway with you. That was like I remember walking out of my room, and Allison Felix was standing right there, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm starstruck of this person, but I can't show up because I'm on the team with her now.
Okay. All right.
So I'm trying to hold my composure. 6'5" guy, she's probably like 5'7", 5'8". She's like, hey, how you doing? I was like, I'm good. I'm good. But just being able to be a part of the American team and going over and like, I always, even in high school, I always you get chills when it's pregame and the national anthem is being sung. Okay, let's do this.
Let's do it.
But it's just this new feeling you get when you go to another country and you're not the greater in number, but you see your flag sitting over somebody else's because you're dominant in what you do. And it's this new feeling you get in this, and you admire yourself for the work you put in for it, but it's just this sense of pride, a good sense of pride that you get, knowing that you get to represent your country and you're one of the elite few that actually gets the opportunity to do so.
Man, I know that was awesome.
Man, I loved it.
And like I said, we're so proud of you, man, and we're definitely a James Harris fan.
Yes,
and what motivates James Harris to get better, faster?
Well, the underline, I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I mean, track and field now can financially put me in a great situation, and she's growing quickly, and that's a big motivation to me. And just track and field is something, like I said, it was not the thing that I looked at that was gonna be able to pay for school. It was not what I looked at as really gonna be able to send me all over the world. And God put that talent in me, and I wasn't even asking for that talent. And there's so many different ways that He'll bless you and give you the opportunity to go out and be great. And like I said, I wasn't even prepared for it, and it caught me by surprise. And just being able to continue to surprise myself day by day by day, by season, and going out, and I think the unique thing about it, you have so many ups and downs in it. And you're like, boy, this is hurting, or that is hurting, or I didn't run this time, or I didn't jump this height. And just going out and continue, when you think you're on your way out, or you think your season is going to the spoils, and you just come out and you just have this breakthrough in it. And you're like, man, I was just complaining about this, man. I just constantly shocked myself and surprised myself, and like God continues to work through me. And like track for me has became like more than just the competition. Like I feel that I can because I'm a firm believer, firm Christian, I feel like it's more of a ministry to me also.
Wow.
Just being able to reach out, because this is only God working through me. And there's so many people, I go to so many places where Christianity is not the supreme belief. And
that's right.
Like, I share it with those people, like, this is why this is happening in my life. And I'm like, man, okay.
That's
might have to see into this.
All right. And I know that's going to bless a lot of people by you saying that, man.
Yeah.
And that's true. You know, God actually works like that. It's amazing. You took your complaints, not really complaints, but things that you were down on, and then He turned them into greater.
Yes, it's funny how
basically God just sometimes tells us, y'all sit back, I got this.
Yes.
And so what's next for James Harris?
Well, I'm graduating college in May.
Great.
Be graduating with my degree in communications and public relations and double minor in advertisement and counseling.
Oh, okay.
So, especially that counseling, I mean, y'all need me to speak to any group of kids. It don't have to be kids. I love to speak. I love to share my experiences and how I got where I am today. So call on me.
Call on you.
I'm on Facebook.
You on Facebook?
But as far as track and field, I'm actually getting my shoe deal negotiated out right now.
Deal?
I won't say the company names, but
It's
gonna be a surprise. It's gonna be a surprise, and I'm so excited.
Man, I'm excited for you. I know I've said that like 4 or 5 times, but I am, because like I told the people when you participated in that last race, you know, I was hollering for you like it was the Alabama-Auburn game, and everybody came out of the room. What are you looking at? I was like, that's Boomer on TV.
Yeah, and I appreciate that.
No problem,
when
man.
you have your community behind you, it makes a world of difference, man. And come home and see the people that genuinely care about you is great, man.
Great. Do you hope to participate in the Olympics one day and represent your country?
You will see me in Rio in 2016. I will be there representing my country in the high jump and 400 meters. So, and I'll be making a little piece of history then, because I don't think nobody's ever done that at the Olympic level.
Right.
So, I will be there. So I'm punching my ticket, and I would love to see y'all there as well.
Well, that's great, man. Well, James, thank you so much for taking the time to be a guest on the show.
Yes, sir, I enjoy it.
And he's spoken it into existence today, August the 19th, 2014, that you will be where in 2016?
Rio, Brazil, for the Olympic Games.
All right, well, I'm touching and agreeing with you on that, man, and thank you so much for coming in, and wish you well in all your endeavors, man.
Thank you.
And remember, if there's a topic that you would like to see discussed on The Kevin Dunn Show, please email us at thekevindunshow@wjcntv.com. We thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day.